is a complicated procedure, really. It takes training, and it takes time to learn how to do the thing properly, and also it takes a lot of practice. It looks very simple when you watch somebody do it, but in actuality, once you get the knife in your hands and you try to do it yourself, you find out that it's really more complicated than it looks. What we try to do with the method that we're teaching is we try to reduce all the claw horn overgrowth, which contributes to the lameness disorders that are so common in dairy cattle. In addition to that, we try to create a balance between the weight-bearing surfaces, between the claws themselves, and we also try to trim them flat so that both the claws are very stable. Those techniques we work on over the 3-day period that we have to do it, and it takes a fair amount of time to do that. We also work on lameness disorders, and so it's very important that they understand what the names are for the various disorders, also how to treat and correct those various disorders. And so we spend a lot of time over this 3-day period doing that. Is that I think a lot of people assume that it's much easier than it is, and so I think that that's one of the things we've tried to help people understand better. The other thing is that foot trimming helps to correct the mechanical loading problems that naturally occur in feet as a consequence of overgrowth of claw horn. And so for that reason, it's very useful, very helpful to the dairy cow in terms of preventing problems, and also making her more comfortable in her environment. I think that probably when you look at the kinds of things that probably are the greatest errors that are made by all of us in the process of trimming feet, I think normally before we get a great deal of understanding and knowledge about this thing and experience with it, I think most people tend to over-trim, trim more than they need to. And so that probably is still the biggest error that's made in foot care in general, and there are a number of other minor details that from time to time can create problems, but the major one is animal welfare is such an important issue throughout our industry today, and lameness is certainly one of the most important ones. And so having a foot care program on a dairy, whether it's with an outside trimmer or whether it's people on farm, it's absolutely essential that they have some kind of foot care program in place to deal with this problem, because animals that are lame can really suffer without regular care or timely care. So it's absolutely essential to do that. And that's part of the reason also for this course, is so that we train these folks in the proper ways to fix and manage these problems, so that we can minimize the pain from the disease itself, and also minimize the problems that might be created from our therapy as well.